Hi guys and welcome. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and click the bell for notifications of when we upload new content, and also give that like button a hit if you do enjoy the video. It does help the channel grow and us to gain a little bit more viewership on YouTube. So today we're going to be looking at the Sagola 3300 GTO. It's the new car version with the tech air cap on it. This is in a 1.3, and for this we're going to be using Max Mayer 0300 clear coat. So although there has been a 3300 Sagola out in the past, this is now their new redesigned version. It's baffle free, so it's completely metal internals, so you've got no issues of any baffles or anything like that failing, which for me makes it a lot more of a stronger, sturdier gun. So out of the box, I've been using this when I made this video around about a week, maybe 2 weeks when I made this video, because Sagola sent me this direct, and I had a bit of a chance to play with it and a bit of a chance to put some different materials to it before I actually got ahead and started to make this review for you guys. So just as a bit of a guide on this, I'm using around about 2 bar of air pressure. I am running a full fan, and I ended up actually by the end of this job running it at full fluid, and I found that was absolutely brilliant for doing clear coat with this spray gun. Now this spray gun, as far as this goes, currently from our sponsors at PMP Supplies, who have just started stocking the Sagola range, is $299 with the regulator. Now personally, I think Sagolas have some of the best regulators on the market. I've had one of the regulators on all my other spray guns now for around about, I'd say at least 2 years. They're really good as far as being solvent proof goes. I regularly do actually clean my Sagola regulator in my gun wash, and it's a safety clean gun wash, so it is a very strong gun wash. I've had no issues with it whatsoever. And the little gauges that are on these ones now, I think they're called a nano gauge. They're absolutely brilliant. And you do get the spray gun, they do come with a pot, and obviously you get the free gauge with it as well, and that currently is on offer at $299 at the time that we have put this video up. So I know I'm going to get a lot of questions on this gun, because it is something Sagola, it's not something that you see very often. Obviously they're not as sort of out there in the market as like Iwata and SATA and people like that. However, I picked this gun up, and when I first unboxed it, I'll be honest, I unboxed it and I was a little bit dubious. I kind of looked at it and was like, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to like this spray gun. So I took it to work with me the next day, and I had a load of direct gloss parts to paint. And obviously it feels quite a bit different in my hand to what, say, like my everyday WS400 does. Not because it feels like it's less of a build quality or anything like that. Obviously it's just a slightly different shape and a different feel to the spray gun. But as I said, I went to my first job with this spray gun, which would have been around about 2 weeks before shooting this video. And at the time of actually doing the voiceover on this video, I'm probably used this gun for about another 2 weeks since. I thought, right, what I'll do, just as a little tester, I'll put some direct gloss through it, and I'll just finish off some panel work that I've got for a respray that I've got going on at the moment. And I have to say, first use absolutely blew me away. Now at the time I didn't know what the retail price was going to be on this GTO. I thought personally that the retail would be a lot higher on this, and I know currently at $299 this is actually an offer price, so if you are looking at one of these, I'd get one snapped up pretty quickly. But I mean, at $299 with the gauge, I mean, I think the gauge is like £60 each. You can't really fault this gun whatsoever for 299 quid. I have really enjoyed using this gun for about, I'd say probably about the past month now, for gloss work and clear coat work. I haven't tried it for base coat, so as yet I can't comment on what it's like for base coat. We are in the process at the moment of just being in the final stages of trying to sort out getting a water-based scheme in, and then we will be going through some more reviews on some of these guns and how they perform with water-based paint. So we'll probably do a little bit of an update on that at a future date. But this gun is specifically designed really for HS and MS clears. It does spray UHS clears exceptionally well as well, and as you can see, it has no problem chucking down a really nice coat of this Max Mayro 300 clear coat. And as you'll probably notice, as I am actually getting further through doing the clear coat stage on this Mercedes A180, I am actually feeling more comfortable with this gun, and putting the fluid out that little bit more, and that little bit more, and that little bit more as I'm going along. And as I say, by the time I actually finished the second coat on this job, I was running full fluid on this gun. With the 1.3 setup, it's the Tech air cap, and it was running absolutely sweet as a nut. I really cannot find an issue with this gun personally. It's got a flat fan pattern as well, which is more what I'm used to with my Iwatas. And I know you're going to get a lot of guys who are going to say, well, you know, like, what's the build quality going to compare like to, say, you know, your Sartas and your DeVilbises and stuff like that? Personally, I think for me it sprays a lot better than a Pro Light. That's in my personal opinion. Iwata wise, I would say this is just as good, if not even a tad better than a WS, especially for doing like big jobs. If I was gonna pick up a gun in my shop at the moment to do a repaint with, it would definitely be this for the gloss work, without a doubt, which I was quite surprised at actually, because like I say, when I first picked it up, for whatever reason, I don't know, I just didn't think I'd like it. But I've used this at least once a day, every day for the past 2 months. I've never stopped using it. I really do enjoy using it. It's a nice gun to pick up. It's got great atomization. I mean, you can tell by the way that it's putting the clear down on this bonnet. It's just absolutely smashing the clear on. It's nice and flat. I mean, when this Mercedes was done, I think we probably had about 20 minutes worth of denibbing and polishing on it. And all this paintwork was absolutely perfectly factory. It was brilliant. Now, with this Max Mayro Clear, you did need to give this, if you want to put down 2 really nice wet coats like this, you do really need to give this about a 10 to 15 minute flash off, personally, I find. And I do find also that this Sagola does put quite a bit of a wetter coat down compared to my WS. And also, say comparing it to something like my everyday favourite WS, I have to turn the fan down on my WS, which I don't find an issue whatsoever. I know a lot of people have got issues with, you know, the setup on the WS, but I don't think that having to turn the fan in a little bit is a problem. However, what I do like about the Sagola is I can run this full fan and it has got a really nice big fan on it. You know, if you're in the sort of doing jobs this sort of size like I'm doing here, or maybe you've got a repaint on or something like that, for a gun that at the moment is up for £299, genuinely I don't think you're going to get a better gun for doing stuff like respray work and big clear work like this for £299. Not that I personally have used yet anyway, and I have obviously had the opportunity over the years with having the channel to use a lot of spray guns. For me, this is definitely a spray gun that will be staying in my collection. You know, there has been a few guns over the years that I've got and I've liked, but you know, they've ended up back in the box and they've sat in the box. However, this one, for the past month and for the, you know, the very long foreseeable future, I can see this staying on my gun rack at work and being used on a regular basis, because, you know, on the bigger clear jobs like this would be the first one that I picked up. Now, build quality wise, compared to like say your Sartas and your Iwatas and also the Pro Lights, I'd say that it feels like it's got a lot more sturdy build than a Pro Light. Compared to the WS400, it feels a little bit weightier in your hand, which for me is not really an issue, but it is just as good of a build quality as the WS400, and personally I'd say it's just as good quality as the Sarta as far as build quality goes. I know a few guys might not agree with that, but personally I think this gun would take a lot of stick before you had anything go wrong with it, especially with it having the all metal internals with no baffle in it, you know, in the front end by your fluid tip, something that some of the manufacturers like the Pro Light quite often has baffle problems and you have to quite often swap them out. I think it's quite a good way to go that You know, it's got those all metal internals in the front end, so we can get away from that baffle. You know, because at the end of the day, the technology that we've got these days, we should be able to get rid of that little plastic damageable baffle in the front end of the spray guns. And obviously recently, you know, we've had the introduction of the DV1, we've got the 5500X, we've now got Sagola who have redesigned this. You know, there's a lot of new kit out there, there's a lot of new technology that's pushing its way out, and it's nice to see. You know, over the years that I've been painting myself, you know, just the spray gun technology has come on so far, and personally I am a big fan of the flat fan pattern that pretty much all the guns are running these days. I really do like it. It is my preferred sort of like fan pattern style, if you will. And like I say, this Sagola, you know, for the money, I don't think you can really knock this gun whatsoever. I've been using direct gloss through this with just as good finishes as what we're getting here on this Mercedes. The finish that I've had with direct gloss with this gun has absolutely been like, I've been doing quite a high-end respray recently, and I've been managing to glass out panels with this with no issues of getting runs or sags or anything like that, which to me just shows that this has got exceptional atomization. I find that transfer efficiency wise, not a problem whatsoever. I don't feel like I'm using any more clear than I would through my WS that I use every day. You know, when I mix the clear up to use for this gun, I've mixed up the exact same that I would for my WS without any issues whatsoever. And I know from looking back at the footage, this might seem like, you know, to you guys, well, you know, there's quite a lot of overspray there. You know, it kind of does look like that on video, but unfortunately, you know, sometimes the camera obviously does get a little bit fogged up by what's going on in the spray booth sometimes. But genuinely, I don't think this puts out any more overspray than any of the other guns that I use on a day-to-day basis whatsoever, really. And like I say, you know, I'm kind of like on this job now. I've kind of like really started to settle in with this now for clear. I've got this wound right up. We're getting a really nice wet, you know, factory finish with like very little effort whatsoever. Like I say, I am extremely surprised at just how well this gun paints. You know, it's one of them. It's one of them that out of the box. You know, I'm a massive Iwata fan. You know, I'm not going to lie about that. It is my preferred spray gun to use every single day of the week. But this has kind of, for me, personally, not knocked my WS 400 off top spot for the gun that I would use every day. But now when I go to my gun rack, I'm pretty torn between, do I pick this up or do I pick the WS up? And for quite a few jobs recently, I have actually been picking this up rather than the WS, which kind of surprised myself. Now, yes, it is a new gun, so it's kind of like, it's the best way of putting it. There's a little bit of novelty there. It's a nice new gun, you know. But like, as you can see here, you know, I wouldn't say I'm not putting any effort into painting this car, but it really felt like to get this car to this kind of standard with this gun, that it really did feel like it took no effort whatsoever. And it was really nice. Like, even the bonnet was so nice, you know, just perfect factory finish across that bonnet. Yeah, there's one or two nibs in it. As I mentioned in a previous video, I do need to get the boo filters done at the moment in the roof. So you know, there is them one or two little nibs, the same as there is in every single job that anybody paints. But finish wise and everything, I can't say anything bad about this spray gun. I wish I could. I wish I could find a bad point to say about this gun, but personally for me, I haven't found any issue with this gun whatsoever. And as I've said, I'm not basing that on unboxing this gun and using this for the first time. I've had this gun now for a month. Sagola sent this out for me to have a play around with and see what I thought on it, and also do you guys a review on it. And I have to say, I'm really glad they did, because I'm really enjoying using this gun. And like I say, it's definitely one that is going to stay in my collection. Build quality, I can't fault this gun. Transfer efficiency, I can't find any faults with it. Achievable finish, atomization, for me, absolutely spot on. Even obviously something large like this bonnet, this is not a lot of passes, and this bonnet is really nicely wetted out. And it's also personally, for me, the first gun that I feel really confident using on full fluid without feeling like I'm going to get a risk of getting it too overly wet. I found that this thing running full fluid was an absolutely perfect fit for my personal style of spraying, if you will. It really did feel nice to run at full fluid. As you can see there, just everything just wetted up effortlessly and so nice and so even. So thanks for watching this video, guys. I am going to leave a link in the description to PMP Supply's website with this spray gun. I will leave you the link to this exact gun that I'm using, but they do actually now stock the full range, so it'd be worth popping over there and giving them a check out and see what they've got. And also we will be looking at reviewing some of the other guns soon for you guys that hopefully that are in their range. And also don't forget to check out the God Behind the Gun Facebook group. PMP Supplies, our sponsor, does quite often run special offers and also giveaways on that group, so if you're not a member of that group, head over there and check out the group. There's a lot of good professional painters on there that are always happy to give help and advice to anybody who needs it. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget, hit that like button for us, and I'll see you again soon for the next one. Bye for now.